The quantum radio telescope at Luna Station picked up the signal on a Tuesday morning, buried beneath layers of cosmic static like a whisper in a hurricane. Dr. Elena Vasquez stared at the decoded message scrolling across her screen, her coffee growing cold as the implications sank in. "Help us, we are dying, our world burns. Please, if anyone receives this, help us." The coordinates followed, pointing to a system 47 light-years away in the constellation Lyra. Within hours, the message had reached Earth's governing council. Within days, humanity's response was unanimous. They would answer the call. The Endeavour launched 3 months later, its experimental fold space drive cutting the journey from centuries to mere weeks. Captain Marcus Reed commanded a crew of 200 scientists, engineers, medics, and peacekeepers. They carried supplies, technology, and something the galaxy had never seen before: humanity's stubborn refusal to let strangers suffer alone. When they emerged from fold space above Kepler 442c, the crew fell silent. The planet below was a masterpiece of destruction. Massive crater wounds scarred continents, and the atmosphere glowed with the sickly orange of perpetual fires. In orbit, the twisted remains of what had once been cities floated like metallic tears. "My God," whispered Dr. James Carter, the mission's xenobiologist. "What happened here?" The answer came from the surface. A weak transmission reached them, spoken in the same mathematical language they had learned to decode. "You came. We did not dare hope." The voice belonged to someone calling himself Elder Nix of the Keonian people. "The Devourers came 3 cycles ago. They strip worlds clean, taking everything of value and leaving ash. We are the last survivors, hiding in the deep caverns beneath the northern continent." Captain Reed exchanged glances with his senior staff. The Devourers, a nomadic species that consumed entire civilizations, were known to human intelligence. They had been expanding their territory, and Earth knew it was only a matter of time before they came knocking. "How many of you are left?" Reed asked. 12,000, perhaps fewer. "Our children grow sick from the poisoned air. Our food runs low." Dr. Lisa Park, the mission's chief medical officer, leaned forward. "We need to get down there immediately. If they're suffering from atmospheric poisoning, we might be able to help." The evacuation began at dawn. Human shuttles descended through the toxic atmosphere, their pilots navigating by instruments alone through the perpetual haze. What they found in the caverns defied their expectations. The Keonians were tall, graceful beings with crystalline skin that caught and refracted light in mesmerizing patterns. But now their natural luminescence had dimmed to a barely perceptible glow. Children huddled against adults, their crystal formations clouded with sickness. Elder Nix greeted the humans with something approaching reverence. "In all our histories, no species has ever answered a distress call from strangers. Why do you risk yourselves for us?" Captain Reed removed his helmet, breathing the filtered air of the cavern. "Because it's the right thing to do. Because no one should face extinction alone." The human medical team worked tirelessly, treating radiation sickness with techniques developed from Earth's own nuclear disasters. Engineers rigged atmospheric processors to create clean air pockets. Most importantly, the evacuation ships began, loading Keonian families for transport to the Endeavour, but their humanitarian mission was interrupted on the 3rd day. Long-range sensors detected approaching ships, the angular, predatory silhouettes of Devourer vessels. "They're coming back," Elder Nix said, his voice hollow with despair. "They always return to finish what they started." The Endeavour's tactical officer, Commander Tom Harrison, studied the incoming formation. 50 ships, each one capable of reducing a moon to rubble. The Endeavour was a research vessel, not a warship. "Sir," Harrison said quietly, "we could evacuate perhaps 3,000 Keonians before they arrive, the rest." Captain Reed stood in the bridge's center, watching the refugee shuttles dock with his ship. 12,000 souls depending on him. His crew looking to him for orders. And somewhere behind them, Earth itself, the next target if the Devourers continued their expansion. "Relay that evacuation order," Reed said finally. "All shuttles return. To the surface. We're not leaving anyone behind, Captain." Harrison's voice cracked slightly. "The Endeavor may not be a warship, but she's got the most advanced shield generators ever built, and we've got something they don't." "What's that?" "Sir," Reed smiled grimly, "human stubbornness. The battle was fierce but brief. The Endeavor's shields held against the initial barrage while human engineers worked frantically to convert the ship's fold space drive into a weapon. When they activated it, the resulting gravitational shockwave tore through the Devourer formation. Like a tsunami through paper boats, the surviving enemy vessels retreated, but not before broadcasting a message that chilled the humans to their core. We will remember this world. We will remember this species. You have made an enemy of the Devourers." As the Endeavor departed Kepler 442c with every surviving Keonian aboard, Elder Nix approached Captain Reed in the observation lounge. The alien's crystalline features had begun to regain their natural glow. "You have doomed your own people," Nix said quietly. "The Devourers will come for Earth now." Reed nodded, watching the stars wheel past. "Maybe, but we'll be ready for them, and now we won't be facing them alone." Nix tilted his head in confusion. "You see," Reed continued, "humans have this thing about collecting strays. That distress call of yours, it wasn't just heard by us. We've been broadcasting it throughout known space, along with our response. You'd be surprised how many species have been waiting for someone to finally stand up to the Devourers." As if summoned by his words, new contacts appeared on the sensor display. Ships from a dozen different civilizations, all converging on their position. All ready to say that the age of the Devourers was ending. Elder Nix's crystalline form blazed. "With newfound light, what do you call yourselves? The species that answers distress calls from strangers." Captain Reed smiled. "We call ourselves human. And this is just the beginning.